Sex. It's a conversation every parent should have with their kids, especially given the fact that STD rates are skyrocketing. But one mom is taking a more hands-on approach. Literally, she's buying her daughters sex toys. Stephanie Land's seemingly unconventional approach stems from her belief that sex isn't just between partners, but that sex should start with learning the act of self-pleasure. Rather than ignoring the issue and making the topic taboo, Land says such frank and open dialogue may actually curb teen pregnancies and give girls the right to say no if pressured in a relationship. Should parents consider buying their teens sexual devices?
Guess what? I actually agree with this woman. And let me tell you why. First of all, I applaud any parent, mother or father, who tries to get ahead of the game by having a conversation or doing something. Absolutely.
Don't be afraid of it.
Nope. And I also always say that in every household, you should do what feels right for you, according to your values, et cetera, et cetera. Here's why I agree with this mom. A lot of the times, I think that women, as young girls, teenage girls, whatever, younger women and girls, are conditioned to think of sex as an emotional currency. You fall in love with your boyfriend, you have sex with your boyfriend or whoever you're with, whereas a lot of boys, when they're young, think of sex as a physical currency. And again, I'm not saying all, I'm saying some. And I think if you just hybridize that a little and you had more girls thinking of sex physically and more boys thinking of it emotionally, you wouldn't have the same type of situations later in adulthood that we have a lot of times now. And I think that girls we're conditioned to not explore our own bodies as much as boys are. And I think we need to start teaching girls that they can and should experience physical pleasure with sex also.
See,
and if they can do
so
that.
Is this what you've done with your daughter? You brought her in the bedroom,
No.
You opened the drawer and you said, see these? These are your friends.
I wish first of all, I wish I had a drawer. but you know, you want to. I have a 16-year-old daughter, and when she was going away to boarding school, at the end, she was about 15, we were out on a jog once, and I said, Chloe, I want to talk to you about sex, and she started sprinting away from me, and I couldn't catch her.
I actually agree with you agreeing with this mother. I think anyone who can have an open conversation. The only part I would disagree with you on is that, yes, while maybe ideally a girl will think of sex as an emotional connection, what I think happens is all too often it's, well, I like him a lot. And yes, they want it to be an emotional connection, but the reality is it's more about, well, he wants to have sex, so I'm just going to do it for him. And it ends up not being the connection they thought it would be. And so I think as a mother, you've got to create an expectation with your, well, look, sons too. You got to have the talk with your sons.
100%.
If you're comfortable in your own skin and know your body better than anyone else, then you're going to be more comfortable in that body. You're going to feel less pressure. You're going to do what you want to do when you want to do it. And I think that that's important.
I also take it very seriously that we need to educate young men, teenage boys, about not only how to be safe and responsible and respectful when they become sexual beings, but also that, you know, as a mom, I want my son to be happy and fulfilled in all of his relationships. And so I don't know what the equivalent is for boys.
I was lucky in my life because I had an older sister, and I always treated women, and I have my whole life, the way I would want my older sister treated. And I was very lucky in that way, just because I saw my older sister, and since she's 2.5 years older, you know, you could see, before I was even sexually mature, you could see the way that guys may try to treat her and her friends. And I always felt like it was my obligation to treat women the way that that I felt she should be treated.
That's the hard part.
And you got to teach that. How you teach that lesson to all boys, I don't know. Some guys.
But that lesson is the hard part. We know what feels good.
Look, at the end of the day, sex is a physical act. I don't think 12-year-olds should be having sex, period.
No. I mean, look, there's the age. I had my first orgasm when I was 40, so I think that if my mom has
true confessions here today. What?
Wow.
What?
Breaking news, people. But,
whoa.
Yeah, but I want to tell you, maybe if my mother had said to me, listen, understand something, sex should be about love, but it's also a physical thing, and I'm not blaming my mom here, but maybe I wouldn't have had to wait that long, and now I have to make up for lost time.
very